Hello everyone, coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show Ring Report here on for SmackDown. Undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes is looking for payback after last week's egregious attack. Cody Rhodes got stuck in like everyone else, and he thought that AJ Styles was going to retire last week right here. AJ attacked Cody Rhodes from out of nowhere, and Cody Rhodes wants to measure revenge that AJ Styles had done to him. Cody Rhodes wants that measure revenge coming up. We'll talk about it coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Also, too, here on the Pro Wrestling Show, we get to tag team. And we get to a lot of action coming up here. If we can show it right quick. There you go. Latasma takes on, well, that was a council match. Well, the tag team champions, the tag team champions, Grayson Waller, will take on Johnny Gargano. They will have a match one-on-one. So we'll see that match as well. Gargano takes on Grayson Waller one-on-one on SmackDown. We'll have that match as well. And also, too, Jake Harhill was going to take on Indy Hartwell. We'll see that as well. But coming up also, too, Owens, Fisher and Moore, Colorado into the Bloodline. We'll see that match as well. If the Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill go one-on-one against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae in a tag team match. And what's going on with Logan Paul after he's been ducking and dodging, you know who, LA Knight, who wants a shot at the United States Championship. We'll get to it all when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here. Connect, and don't forget, everybody subscribe. Subscribers can tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, we're going to get to a little bit of the Pro Wrestling Show coming up here, but I want to address what went down earlier. We were supposed to have the Pro Wrestling Show, but we had a lot of technical difficulties, as you know, streaming difficulties. So now we're back on. Thank you for watching wherever you are. We want to thank you one more time. We had little technical issues earlier. We were supposed to start at our regular scheduled time, but unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, we couldn't start early. But we're here now. We want to thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show, kicking off here early Saturday morning. Thank you all for watching. All right, we get to this. Undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes looked pissed off. He's spoiling for a fight. Cody Rhodes knows a thing about want to fight. And Cody Rhodes looking for you know who, AJ Styles. What AJ Styles had pulled out that stunt last week on SmackDown. AJ decided last week on SmackDown that he wanted to retire, and like he said, never trust a man with a pair of leather suit. This is going circa to Mark Henry and John Cena. When that happened out of nowhere, remember that John Cena got sucked in by Mark Henry, thinking Mark Henry was going to retire. And AJ did the same thing to Cody Rhodes, attacking Cody Rhodes from behind. And AJ Styles paying for that. But will AJ pay for it? We'll have to wait and see what AJ's going to do. Cody's going to do. Because Cody Rhodes looks like he's mad. He's teed off. He went to general manager Nick Aldis stood right there waiting for AJ to come out. Nick Aldis saying do the best of his advisement that he don't want no trouble. He wants them to keep it peaceful. But Cody Rhodes, being the honorable guy he is, he didn't see it that way. So Cody Rhodes wants to get his hands on AJ Styles one way or another for what AJ had done. AJ Styles did do so tonight, which that led to AJ coming out there and issued a challenge to Nick Aldis that he wants a world championship match. AJ Styles will get that world championship match at Clash at the Castle next week. So AJ Styles will challenge Cody Rhodes once again at Clash at the Castle, but this time AJ saying that he should have done it the way he should have done it, an I Quit match. So we will have a I Quit match. AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes one-on-one in an I Quit match. You know about I Quit match, 2 words, 5 letters. I quit. I quit means that you must make your opponent surrender those words. I quit in order to win the match. And we'll see that match at Clash of the Castle. Classic I Quit matches. The Rock versus Mankind. John Cena versus JBL. That was a classic when John Cena about to take the truck horn off of the heels and JBL said, you know what, I quit. I quit. That was funny. I think that's going to lead to something where AJ Styles may or may not have to quit. We'll see if that's going to go down. So we'll have to pay more attention to that. Also, too, we get to this. The WWE Tag Team Champions may be having the split field at the Grayson Waller had a match tonight against John Gargano. Grayson Waller and John Gargano had their match. It was a one-on-one match, but Grayson Waller succeeded with John Gargano win the match, but he didn't try to ring his tag team partner in. There's still some problems as of late. We can tell Grayson Waller and John Gargano having lack of communication when it comes to that. We'll see if they can work out their issues and work out the kinks of what's going on, because I mean, you can tell there's trouble in paradise, and that trouble in paradise could be coming up near soon if they come that way with Grayson Waller and Theory. Well, speaking of tag team, on the opposite side, the women's tag team championships, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are, I mean, the most dominant women's tag team champions I ever seen in my whole entire life. These women put these women at ease. They went against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae and put them out to shame. But Shayna Baszler and Zoe, I forgot her name, from Raw was observing and watching, as well as Issa Dawn and forgot her name. Issa Dawn, they was watching as well. Well, Bianca and Jay went to General Manager Nick Aldis' office and requested that they want both tag teams, and they will get them in a triple threat tag team championship match. I guess the champions have the advantage because they're stronger, tougher, and saying this is going to be a piece of cake for them. Man, it's going to always be a piece of cake for Bianca and Jay. Bianca and Jay are impressive. They're impressive women to look at. They're beautiful. They represent the representation of what women's tag team champions should be. That's why I say Bianca and Jay throw a mean punch. You know, say that they are really impressive when it comes to their look and aesthetics and stuff. But we know that next week on SmackDown, Jade will go one-on-one against Indy Hartwell. We'll see that match coming up next week. I believe next week. Jade, maybe they changed the card or something, but we'll see if that's going to still be a possibility. I think we just have to wait and see, but maybe Jade ain't seasoned enough, but who knows? But we'll see. But you can tell right here, someone put right here, the focus of Indy Mark and Jade, but all I'm looking at is that in his muscle holy, you know what? Well, I mean, they're both women impressive. They especially Jade. Jade has the bigger. Jade is defined and she's ripped to the gills. But along with Bianca, they're both. You can tell they work out and stuff. And they kind of like workout buddies and stuff. So Jade and Bianca are impressive, and they're both impressive as women's tag team champions. I can agree on that. They're the most impressive women's tag team champions and the most dominant women's tag team champions I ever seen in my life. Well, speaking of that, Nia Jax, the queen of the ring, you know, and sometimes too, a lot of fans were saying why she's not wearing that crown. They said the same about Gunther. I mean, they can wear the crown for a week and then go on and be known as the winner. Well, we know that Nia Jax will be heading to SummerSlam. She'll punch her ticket to SummerSlam to meet whoever the champion may be coming up at SummerSlam. But Nia being approached by Tiffany Stratton with her insecurities and stuff. With also Jade hasn't forgot about what Nia done to her. Jade and Nia might have a few. I told you last week that they're gonna have a few sooner rather than later. Jade, what she's doing to Nia, and you can tell Jade and Nia not too fond of each other. You can tell that right now. But that led to a brawl between the two women. And I think Jade will go against Nia one-on-one sooner rather than later. We'll probably see that next week. Jade and Nia almost slipped and fell, but Nia didn't want you to know that. Nia putting the pieces together and stuff that she may be heading to SummerSlam, but she's got a lot of obstacles in her way coming up forward. You know, we'll see coming up. Well, we know this, that Logan Paul, the United States champion, is not on SmackDown. He's the part-time champion. Logan Paul has a person looking for him, and he's looking for some gold. That man would be right here, LA Knight. LA Knight wants some gold from Logan Paul, and he wants it bad. He wants to take the championship away from Logan Paul, and LA Knight could be the man to do it. But LA Knight wants that championship after Logan Paul has not showed up. LA Knight saying, I know you're at a Tetris game, and Logan Paul said, hey, I'm going to be in your hometown out LA doing Tetris. Who go to a Tetris? Well, you know, everybody does video games and stuff. So I want to assault child out there. But Logan Paul trying to assault what's his name? LA Knight. LA Knight still wants that opportunity against Logan Paul. He'll probably get at SummerSlam coming up. They finally win the U.S. title. He should have won it a year ago. I don't know why they didn't do that, but to WWE's made, they don't try to think ahead and logic and stuff when it comes to that. Well, LA Knight got confronted once again by another obstacle, and that's Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes wants to fight LA Knight, and he did tonight. LA Knight won the match over Carmelo Hayes, and I think Carmelo Hayes might have to back off a little bit, but I think Carmelo kind of realizing that he don't on what's going down. We also too, we were supposed to have a match against Apollo Crews, and you know who, Apollo Crews and Angel. That match is not going to happen tonight. So hey, you know how that be. Well, what else would happen? The WWE Women's Champion Bayley confronted Piper Niven. Piper Niven confronted Bayley after Piper Niven said that she's been a champion way before she came to WWE. Bayley says she noticed Piper Niven at the Mae Young Classic. I remember the Mae Young Classic. And Piper Niven didn't forget that she wants to be a champion, and she could win the championship in Scotland. But Bayley's standing the obstacle in her way, and I think Bayley kind of making it seem that she wants the best Piper Niven she can get at Clash at the Castle, and we'll kind of see that match coming up. But looking all forward, looking all cylinders, that could be a possibility heading towards Clash at the Castle in that way. We know that SmackDown kicked off with the with the bloodline. The bloodline um, got some company in the hands of Kevin Owens and Street Profits. I don't not to knock Kevin Owens and Street Profits, not knock Kevin Owens, but I think the Street Profits, why they're involved in the bloodline bidding, they know they're not gonna win over the bloodline, and hey, that be some way. But Paul Heyman got so super uncomfortable with the bloodline being the anointing of Torres longer. He didn't want to do it, but he had to do it because if he didn't, he was gonna meet Solo Soul 1-on-1. And then Heyman just like, what, just by all means, I'll just do it just to shut you up. And I think that's what happened. Later on in the show, Paul got threatened again by Solo. Solo looks like he wants to be Roman Reigns so bad. I think Paul Heyman kind of looking like, oh God, what's going on? I don't want to ruffle nobody's feathers. I think he don't want to ruffle Solo's feathers. I think that's what went down. But Solo, they had a 6-man tag team match, and throughout the match, you thought the Prophet was going to win, but no, they lost to count with Solo knocking what's his name head off, and Kevin Owens still paying the damage as Paul Heyman doesn't know what to do, and Solo with the dominant. They're gonna always be dominant, and Solo playing a key role into the new bloodline, the new faction, and you see right here, Paul Heyman looking at putting his hand grasped down his head, wondering what should I do? Why should I call Roman Reigns? Well, the new bloodline, I mean, they the new bad butts. You got Solo, you got Tama Tonga, and you got Tola Long. That's going to be probably one day go against the bloodline called Roman and the Usos. They took out Jimmy. I don't know what Jay's issues is. I don't know how that's going to all factor in, but we'll have to wait and see. All right. That is the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics. All right. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we talk about this. This is a spoiler for you right here. This is a spoiler right here. What's his name? Andrade. He's the new WWE Speed Champion. He defeated the inaugural champion Ricochet. So Andrade is the new Speed Champion. I don't know how that's going to go work, but Andrade is the new Speed Champion. We know that next week, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, especially Grayson Waller, will host DIY. They've been having problems with DIY. They can't even get a win from DIY, but DIY will be host on Grayson Waller's show. But we can tell there's still problems within weighing wings between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory on how that's going to go down eventually. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Also, too, Iron Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they had supposed to fight next month for Netflix, but that has been postponed and pushed back to a new date, a new time, I guess. So it's going to be Friday, November 15th. Logan Paul versus Jake Paul at Dallas at AT&M Stadium in Dallas, Texas, live on Netflix. So we'll see that match, Tyson versus Paul. One match, we'll see that coming forward. Well, we know that WWE champion Cody Rhodes has his protege MJF. MJF announced with Warlow saying that MJF wants to be like him and wants to say he has his own identity. He wants to be 6'3". I don't know what's going on. It was just crazy. Warlow trying to get out there. I think Warlow should be out there more, but hey, AEW don't know how to book, so they book like the smaller wrestler than the huge wrestler. Same with WWE, like the huge wrestler and smaller wrestler. Just book what the fans want and just go with that. Also, too, Roman Reigns may not know what's going on in the bloodline, but we know that his bloodline Jordans has been canceled. I don't know why Roman's bloodline Jordans have been canceled. Who knows what's going on? And Roman Reigns and his bloodline Jordans been canceled. Speaking of that, we'll shed on this. Jordan Grace, who will get a Impact NXT Women's Championship match Well, she's gonna do a Knockouts Championship Open Challenge on next Friday. So we'll see if Jordan Grace will someone accept the challenge. I think someone from NXT may accept the challenge and go from there. So we'll have to wait and see how that's gonna go. Well, somebody said right here, Johnny Gargano, DI should win the WWE Tag Team titles at SummerSlam, saying it should be perfect for them. Maybe they might be doing that at SummerSlam. Never know. Coming up, so hey, who knows how that's gonna figure in and stuff. So hey. All right. We're gonna leave you with the new Bloodline, Soul Sokoa, Tolalanda, and Tamatanga. Laying out a following Kevin Owens. You got to pick up the pieces as he saw what he sees. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the SmackDown Ring Report. I've been your host, KG Dick, saying so long, and thank you for watching. We'll see you for NXT Battleground Predict Outcome. See you later.